Sam is the co-founder and director of SEL Farm, who enabled us to start our project Plant the Future. The goal is to support smallholder farmers with an agroforestry project without any chemical inputs and without irrigation.
The world has found the juice.
So legally we donated 20 hectares to the foundation, and then we started to implement the training center on this land. So we've used up about 9.7 hectares now, and we still have 10 hectares to play with.
2 months ago we started next to our farm an agroforestry project together with the local community. Without irrigation, we want to show them that this project can serve their needs for the full year. The trees are not yet very tall because they are only 2 months old, but we will see very soon how they grow. We were a little bit late here. That means we couldn't integrate some of the common plants like the banana and the papaya or the melon.
They brought in a bad seed.
We can start harvesting again. We see a lot of black pods here. So they can be harvested already. What do you expect with the rice? How long does it take until we can harvest the rice?
From next week.
Actually, agroforestry systems are based on integrating the trees into the crop systems. So we started implementing different systems, but we started realizing that actually this system here with 3 rows every 6 meters is the most favorable one, the easiest one to implement in a non-irrigated structure. We want to prove for them that they don't need the fertilizer, and that's why we are setting up the pattern. We have one part here. We have 4 lines of rice. Then in between we have 3 to 4 lines of green gram, which is a nitrogen fixing part. So this is about nutrient cycling. So depending on the trees we are planting, we are always choosing the spacing due to the height of the trees, so that they always get enough light and that they are not covering the whole system. So above the soil, it's about getting access to light and carbon dioxide, and below the soil, it is getting access with the different root systems to nutrients and water. So cows don't only serve to provide meat and milk, but they actually are important when you want to do organic farming without any fertilizers and pesticides. So their role is actually to deliver manure and also to help supporting the plant health.
The cow dung has a lot of ammonia, and if it's not properly cured and you transfer it to the farm, then the ammonia will start to attack your plants and killing them instead of helping the soil to make the plants grow better. We move it into this pit. First we have a layer of the cow dung at the bottom, then we have a layer of the leftover fodder, and then a layer again of the cow dung, and it just continues. This is good because then we'll be able to spread the heat evenly, and then the curing will be even. Within a month to 2 months we should be able to use it.
In the whole society, actually, they play a key role in supplying meat, supplying milk. But one of the biggest challenges is actually to grow the fodder. When we can provide enough fodder, especially green fodder during the dry season, we can increase actually the milk production of the cows. These are local Fulani cows, so they are not producing a lot of milk. Normally when they just are roaming around, they give maybe half a liter or 7 deciliter of milk per day, but we could see here when we can feed them properly, they give 1.5 or even more. Most of the small farmers who have only 1 or 2 acres of land, they have the biggest challenges to produce the fodder during the dry season. So we have a lot of conflicts because cows are roaming around, and also the Fulani conflict actually is also mainly a fodder conflict. Well, we have calculated here now that a cow roughly needs 1/10 of a hectare per year. So when we are looking at that, we can easily integrate grass rows in 1 hectare land, for instance, for a small farmer, and he can produce when he's planting napier grass and some other grass varieties together with the fodder trees as well, like Lucina and Claricidia. So the multiplication of grasses play a vital role in the agroforestry system. So we are cutting down napier grass now, elephant grass, and we are multiplying the elephant grass in other places. So basically at the end of the cropping season, we try to plant napier grass as a cover crop for the dry season. It will multiply, and by the end of the dry season, we let it grow up to 2 meters when the rain starts, and then we cut it again. We take it for multiplication.
In the beginning was the napier grass here, and the napier grass, the stalk occupy a space of 50 centimeter, the space it covers. And we want to see the number of the stems and the number from the rootstock. And here, from the rootstock, what we get here is 34. We are now using it for transplanting in another different place. And meanwhile, from this place we remove, we have to return 1 back for it to regrow.
How many do we have from the stems?
119.
119. So it's more than 150 pieces actually we can get as a reproduction from 1 bundle only. We have actually 70 square meters, and on 70 square meters we can produce this massive reproduction of grasses. Well, up to now the farmers normally think grasses have no value and trees have no value. Actually, grasses and trees, they are disturbing the crops. We try to prove to them that actually they are very beneficial and they are generating income. We can really reproduce them. The farmer has no problem to buy seeds. He can multiply them by himself.
We have a simple way of communicating to the farmer. We bring them and demonstrate what we did here and show them. We even show them how the cotton is done and how the planting. They will switch it to it because when they come here and they see the napier is looking nice and beautiful, most of them say that they have their land, so that they will plant it inside the land. Then they allow the cattle to be grazing inside and going outside.
Napier is just one of the grasses we are multiplying. We have identified at least 6 grass varieties that can be multiplied, and they are remaining green during the whole season. So all these grasses, they also grow in the dry areas. Dividing rootstock is one, but the cutting is one. Because cutting actually is the most easiest one for the farmer. He just cuts a piece of the grass or of the fertilizer tree, he puts it in the soil and it's growing. But we can also put it in the plant nursery in the plastic bags to sell it outside. The plant nursery is one of the most important foundations for agroforestry projects. Because without the trees, we cannot do anything in a proper way. So we are getting a lot of seeds actually from areas where we still have wild forests. Mr. Mohammed is actually doing a lot of seed sourcing for us, and he helped us here to build up the plant nursery.
If you want to establish an agroforestry plantation and you don't want to establish a nursery, it will be very expensive. So when you establish your nursery, the cost is far, far less by establishing exploitation within the agroforestry. Employment within the community, it's very vital important for the community for the employment. It can enhance the climate change because of global warming.
Our goal is to reach the level of about 1 million trees per annum that we can really upscale agroforestry projects. We are currently at a level of about 45 different tree varieties. Some we have in large scale and some we have in small scale. We are close to 100,000 trees, or even above. The bigger ones, teak, these are at the beginning, we have numbers of about 5,000, 6,000 or something like that. But of course, we have our own needs for the expansion of the village plant pool concepts. And we hope that we are now also being able to deliver to other organizations that are going to the villages doing the same. And the third leg of our economy here will be that we start really merchandising what we are producing, so building up a marketing for the plants. The permanent production of vegetables, we need to have an irrigated system because we have long dry spans here. So up to 5 months we have no rain. So this is an irrigated system. It's based on tree lines because we need a very high and permanent nutrient cycling. So the function of the tree lines is basically to produce, first of all, a limited shade, and secondly, to have a permanent and fast reproduction of nutrients, and this helps to promote the water, carbon and nutrient cycles. This is necessary for the permanent production. We started here also from the scratch. This system is 2 years old. The soil was very sandy. When we are looking at the soil now, we have added a lot of biomass to the soil. It is improving now. This is a scaled system at the village level. We normally start with small system kitchen garden models where that can be irrigated from the local water supply system and don't need any proper irrigation system. The cow dung and the chicken dung, they are supporting this kind of system. We can do things faster than just with the nutrients that we are bringing back from the plants.
This is our MBS2, that's the modified Brazilian system, the vegetable section. So in each section we have 1.8 meters in which we plant our vegetables. And we divided the 4.8 into 4 beds. The first one is 50, 80, 80, 50. So we have a template in which we plant. And when we plant, we don't repeat it. So the first plot there, we have in the first bed, which is by 50 cm, we have aubergine and sweet corn. Then in between, we integrate green gram. The essence of the green gram is to add nitrogen to the soil. Because what we're processing here is organic farming. We don't use inorganic fertilizers. So in between, we plant in a distance of the green gram. And all these crops are compactable. You know, there are some crops you can't plant together with each other. But this crop now we are planting the vegetables that are compacted with each other, they grow fine. The mulching is to help to retain the soil content, the moisture content in the soil, because we are going towards the dry season.
We don't need to irrigate all the time in very short cycles. Secondly, the decaying material is helping to produce more carbon in the soil. But permanently, actually, it's reducing the temperature in the whole system, so we don't have hot temperature in the soil. So be careful always to cover the full trench with the mulching material, but not covering the turmeric. So it is important, and take out all the weeds between the Cassiatora. Huh? We have 50 cm for the Cassiatora as far as I know. Huh? Okay. We have entered into a collaboration with Pax Herbals. It's a company that is a Benedictine monastery in Ewu that is producing traditional African herbal medicine for almost 25 years. And they are the leading producer in Nigeria, if not in Africa as such. So currently we are multiplying Cassiatora also to get more seeds that we can spread out to the farmers to multiply these plants and become a major supplier for Pax herbals. And turmeric is a huge demand currently, and not only in Nigeria but all over the world. So we are multiplying turmeric at large scale. The benefit for the community finally is that all the people in the rural areas, they normally have no money to go to the pharmacy, to the doctor to buy the chemical medicine. So for them it's a question of a basic health care system, a healthcare supply. So integrating and combining the medicinal plants with agroforestry, it's actually combining two basic needs of the communities. The veterinary system is a fruit food forest system. So the key commercial products are the fruit trees, mainly the banana and the papaya. We still have 120 to 150 fruit trees like mango, custard apple, guava and cashew inside. So the fruit trees are the basic substance, and you see these are delivering income mainly in the dry season.
We have to remove the dead leaves because these ones no longer have that biomass. So out of these two, we can't leave all of them. So we chop this one down, Tagani. So the easiest way of chopping, because if you look at a big farm, first chop the upper one. Put them down, all in one place. So now, the easiest way. Okay. Alright. This one, put them together. So you see that one it is easier and faster. Bananas usually we consider them as the mother of the agroforestry systems. One, it is a fast-growing plant with a lot of biomass. Some will not plant it for food, not at all, but for biomass. Why? Because when you look at the trunks of the bananas, it is water, full of water. That is what we want mainly in them. And you can see the amount of biomass you can get from just one harvesting. So that is the biggest secret about bananas in agroforestry systems. And then if you are also growing them commercially, like for food or for economy, they can give you a continuous yield.
So the living fence is one important structure. We have seen it during the storm in April, where the whole structure here was heavily damaged. We need to build up a proper live fence as a wind protection for this system. So we immediately after the storm we started planting Gliricidia, and we have a double row, an outer row and an inner row. Now we are pruning the outer row at the height of maybe 1.20 meters, that they multiply at that height, and the inner one we let it grow taller, and we will prune them up once they have grown taller. We have covered all the basic staple foods in the system out in the Damakusa village plot, and now we also can show the remaining needs of the population, which are wood production, which are fruits, a large-scale fruit production that basically serves to cover the dry period where they don't have anything to harvest. Setting up 1 hectare as a kind of a seed bank and plant pool for the village that they can multiply from there. So actually reproduction is the key thing that we can multiply, that we can upscale very fast at lowest possible costs. This is the example how to do it. What you think about what you can see today?
wai su mutane mu suna ce an karɓa muna gwana. To sai daga ni sai sarki sai Bitrus sai Zafaniya mu ba da kai mu ce bari mu fara yi duk inda yake ya zama su ma za su gamsu. Allah ya sa kuma muna kai sai ni ina ta yi musu magana sai suna zuwa. Don sun zo a yanzu haka abin da ya sa koya kwakwalwan koya buɗe yanzu.
To a da an mun shi ba za mu ci ruban shi ba, amma a nan da sun fara koya muna yi wannan yanzu ka ga shinkafa ga mai itatuwa ga dukkan akwai shi. An da mun shi haka ba zai mu ci kuɗi ba, amma da sun zo su koya muna gashi yanzu alhamdulillah.
Creating a village plant pool means that we can reduce the costs of a transformation process from a monoculture system, a deficit agriculture, to a surplus agriculture. Just giving the seeds into the hands of the farmers, that they are not dependent anymore and their money, the most important thing for the farmers is their money does not go out of the community anymore.